Welcome to episode 2 of Code2Clutch, the series where we are spotlighting women who are breaking barriers in motorsports and racing tech. And today we're joined by somebody who perfectly embodies that spirit, Jara Hain, with over 8 years of rally co-driving experience across Europe, multiple international podiums, including the Rebenland Rally du Valais. Is that correct?
Yeah, Rallye du Valais, exactly.
And the Mitropa Rally Cup season opener, Yara is not only thriving on the global stage, but also pursuing a medical degree at the same time. From pace notes to patient charts, she's navigating to the most intense worlds out there. And Yara, we're so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. And
Thank you so much for inviting me.
of course. So, let's just go back to where it all began. So, you have mentioned that your dad and your grandfather played a big role in sparking your love for rallying. Can you share a memory or a moment that, really made you say, this is what I want to do?
Oh, basically, there's no special moment which I can remember which told me to do, wow, this is my sport. When I was a child, my father took me nearly every weekend to the rallies and circuit races and hill climb races in Germany and as well abroad. And yeah, there was a huge fascination for motorsport since the very first moment. And when you spend nearly every weekend on the racetrack, you get such a close call with this sport that you automatically want to do it or try it yourself someday. And then I started to join a team for a mechanic, did some mechanical work when I was a teenager, in the age of 12 to 15, I think. And later on, I started in the organization of a rally, joined the organizational team for around 5 years. But during all this time, I always followed the work from the co-driver, and I was always impressed how they are dealing with this and how they are doing the sports and how the teamwork is building up in rallying. And yeah, then I decided that's the sport I would like to try. And when I was full aged, I tried it for once. My mother allowed it to try it, and yeah. As you can see, it was not the only time I did it. And yeah, now I'm worked up to I would say professional co-driver.
And that's awesome. Look where it got you. You're at a big global stage, winning podiums. And so you're one of the few people who can say that they help drive a rally car. For those who aren't familiar, what exactly does a co-driver do? And how did you first start learning the skills for it? Is it similar to a team principal, a strategist?
Yeah, that's a great question because most of the people don't realize how important the job of the co-driver is. And basically, as a co-driver, you're trying to be mom and dad and the best friend and the co-driver and the mental coach and psychologist, everything the same time for your driver. But it's not only about the work during the rallies. It's also starting weeks before the event when I make myself familiar with the regulations. I'm arranging the travels for the team, schedule the event, and I'm calculating as well the fuel and prepare the stage informations, search out for onboards, which I can send to my driver. So it's a lot of work to do. And then we are basically traveling to the event. We are doing the recce. So we write down the detailed description of the road ahead. And yeah, then the final rally action starts. I'm managing to be always in time with my driver and the car and the team. And yeah, reading the pace notes is just the fact everyone knows about the co-driver thing. But it's nearly the easiest part of being a co-driver because when you know when to read the pace notes, I think nearly everyone can do it. For sure, you need to have a feeling, but need to have a feeling for your driver as well, and you need to have a feeling for the car. So yeah, it's much more than just sitting there and reading some stuff. And yeah, the work continues when the rally is finished. So when I'm back home, I'm comparing the the rally, our rally with rally from others, comparing the times and the tires we used and checking everything, watching our onboards, putting the onboards together from our team and from other teams to see where we lose the time. And then I'm preparing a report for my driver, and from this knowledge from the report, we can improve during the next rallies. So
Wow. It's almost like,
it's a lot of work. It's a
yeah,
full-time job, yes.
you are basically the whole pit wall, the strategist, the mechanic, the driver. You are the whole team. And, it's always like we never really hear about what goes on behind. People are like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, rally co-driver, she's helping them navigate. But the job is so intense and you're studying
Yeah.
medicine alongside. How do you manage your time and, your energy between your studies and such a demanding racing schedule?
To be honest, I don't know how I managed it because it was really a balancing act. But 2 months ago, I finished my studies and now I'm working in my practical year at the hospital. And yeah, a typical week for me is just full of early mornings, long days at the hospital, long shifts also in the night. And on evening and free weekends, I'm preparing the rallies, doing the after work, go to fitness trainings, or travel to the events. So, all in all, these are tough days, but as you know, the hard work is always paying off. And combining rally and medicine teach me really important lessons of life. So these are complete different worlds, and it's so interesting to swap always between these worlds. And it makes you as well more thankful when you have the patients in the hospital on the one side, and on the other side, the joy of rallying and the passion for the sport. And it makes you thankful that to realize that you can do this sport in the way how you love it. And yeah, this is really nice combination, but as well not the not so easy in the matter of time.
You're like superhuman and it sounds so intense. And do you ever like find yourself, using skills that you have learned in rallying, using it in your medicine field, maybe time management or vice versa?
Yeah, so time management is for sure an important part also in the medicine, but it's the way how you deal with people and to get on with different characters of people. And things can change really quickly as well in the medicine and in the rally sports. Imagine if you have a weather change or you need to do some setup changes, you need to be really quick learner and quick thinking and to make spontaneous decisions. And I'm dreaming about working in the emergency medicine one day. And it's the same situation like that. You need to do quick decisions and then just do it. Don't think about these things too much. And I
Wow.
think it learned me a lot.
Yeah. Wow. It actually makes a lot of sense. You are making decisions on spot, working in emergency medicine, whether, you're doing a co-driving. And that's so interesting. And you just mentioned you finished your studies, you're starting your practical year. This year has been big for you, and the season has already been strong, from your opening land at Rebenland to, your recent P3 podium. And so, what do you think has been like your proudest moment so far, and why do you think it stood out?
Are you talking about the proudest moment in rally general or the proudest moment of the year?
Whatever you want it to be.
Okay, so the proudest moment of the year is not so much time ago. Last weekend we've been to Rallye du Valais, as you mentioned in the intro, and we got third overall. And honestly, that was impressive. I never imagined that we can go so fast on a rally we don't know. We were there for the first time, and the conditions were really rough. So on the first day we had sunny and cloudy mixed, and on the second leg we had completely heavy rain with standing water in some places, and we were nearly the only team who was competing there for the first time, and we managed to set an overall best time. And we competed against the legend Sebastian Loeb. You know him as a 9-time world rally champion, and we were faster than him. And sharing the podium with him was really incredible. Really, really nice moment.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. And you're excelling in both your fields along your whole journey. You have partnered with so many amazing drivers. What have, those partnerships sort of taught you? And how do you like sort of adapt your approach to different drivers while you are being a co-driver?
Tricky question. So working with all these different drivers teach me, yeah, as I told you, how to get on with different characters of people. And every driver teaches you something new. They are really different in the way how behave in the car and in the way what they need in the car. Some of them are really analytical and calm. Some of them are super excited. And as a co-driver, you just need to be yeah, the mental strength in the car, putting everything in the right direction, be calm and just work. And I learned to be flexible, to adapt to these people, to recognize what the driver needs for the moment or what the patients need in the moment. And yeah, sometimes it's important to calm down your driver. And sometimes it's important to be the higher energy part in the car. Imagine you're pushing for a podium. And yeah, in the end, working with the driver, it's all about building the trust to each other and find a rhythm together and don't forget to enjoy. Because when everything is working and when you're good, having a good vibe in the team, the work will pay off and you will be successful at all.
And that's great to hear, from it's always amazing to hear from the person themselves how they feel in the car and how they're navigating through it. And rally has been around for a lot of years, but for most of them it has been seen as a rough and tough, sort of heavily male dominated space. And did you face any early challenges when you first stepped into rallying, especially gender specific barriers?
Mm. Yeah, so sometimes there's a common sense existing that females are just in the rally car for their social media promotion or because it's cool to be a rally co-driver. But for me, it was important to be serious and make a serious sport, not depending on the gender. And that's why I put all my effort into it to be just not only the girl in the car, then be a fully focused athlete, no matter if female or male. And yeah, during the time it changed a lot. So in the meantime, there are many female co-drivers on the co-driver seat, especially in Germany. In other countries, it's not so much. Like in Czech Republic, there are nearly no female co-drivers. But in our region, it's still increasing, and that's cool. I mean, being a rally co-driver is one of the most coolest things in the world, and yeah, I can recommend it to everybody. Just try it and enjoy.
Yeah, and that sounds amazing. You're clearing the path for women to come, just like how Michelle did. Michelle's a rally legend. She is one of the greatest drivers that I have ever, looked up to. And we see how demanding it can be on and off the track. And especially with you, you're studying medicine as well as doing rallying. So, these two really demanding paths, where do you see yourself in the next few years? Are there any specific sort of rally championships or medical specializations that you're working towards? I know you mentioned emergency medicine. So, is that
Yeah, tricky question, and I don't know how to answer it because it depends on the opportunities you have in the life. So right now I'm focused on building experience in both of these areas. I started working now in the anesthesia, building up some confidence in this part of medicine. And in the end of next year, I will have my final medical exam to get my doctor's approval. And actually, I'm working part time. So I have a lot of time to do rallies beside of this. And yeah, I'm putting all my effort to use this time to compete as much as possible in international rallies. And yeah, I love to do the European Rally Championship. That's where I would love to be there next year again. But yeah, as well, the WRC events are nice events. And depending on the opportunities, I can imagine be a full-time co-driver. But you need to keep in mind that it is a limit time which you can do this. And yeah, in an older age, I think it's good to have a serious job like being a doctor, to come back to your hospital and have a serious work then for the daily life. And yeah, let's see what the future brings and what the opportunities are. And then I will decide it spontaneously, but I'm open to everything. If there is an opportunity, I would grab it.
Yeah, and that makes sense. You don't know when the next opportunity is going to come, and it
Yeah.
might just be a really big one. And it's so inspiring to see how passionate you are, with everything, two really different fields, but you're just being at the top of your game. So, it's really good for young women to look up to you. So, do you have any message or pieces of advice that you would want to like give young girls who want to get into rally or maybe be a co-driver or the driver?
My advice is just start it. Don't think about too much. Start at a small local event. Probably start with a friend, and then look up to professional co-drivers and drivers. And most important, don't wait for the perfect moment. There will be no perfect moment to step up, and it's just all about beginning, enjoying, and if you're enjoying what you're doing, you will do it in a good way. So an opportunity is to join a motorsport club and reaching out to people in the community. They are always willing to help. And yeah, just try it and enjoy and keep pushing, because it's always paying off when you're pushing for what you love to do.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I have learned so much from this interview. And we're coming towards the end of it, sadly. Thank you so much, Yara. It's been amazing hearing about your journey and all the passion that you bring to rallying and medicine. I'll be cheering you on this season, next season, years to come. And best of luck, both rally and medicine. And I hope to see you race one day. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you. You're always invited to join us at the rally in the service park and outside on the special stages. See you there.